Hello. Of course, estate planning is about a whole lot more than who gets your stuff when you die. What it really comes down to is the four R's. And the four R's are making sure that you've got the right people with the right authority at the right time, with the right instructions to do what you need them to do if you're not able to do yourself. If you're incapacitated, and it's maybe because you have an illness, you've been injured, or you're dead. In any case, you need somebody to act on your behalf. And that's what estate planning is about. My name is Jim Miskell with the Estate Planning Law Group of Georgia, and I wanted to talk with you just a couple minutes about the biggest mistake I see people making going through estate planning. It's also the most common mistake. As we go through life, there are a lot of things that are challenges. There's the normal flu season, there are virus pandemics, there's severe weather, car accidents, those sorts of things. We can sort of divide people into two groups. There are the people that have been injured, who are in the hospital, who are in intensive care, who have family members that have died. And then there's the rest of us who feel like we're just lucky or blessed, and thank goodness that hasn't happened to us yet. I'm here to tell you that no one knows the day or the hour. The nursing homes in Georgia are full of people who did not plan to be in nursing homes. There's not a single person in the ICU today because they were in a terrible car accident yesterday who started out their day aiming to be in the ICU. So that brings me to the biggest mistake in estate planning, and that's putting it off, not getting it done. You know it needs to be done. You know it's the right thing to do for your family. You love your family. It's just hard to come around to do it. That's where we come in. Our process breaks the estate planning process down into very discrete pieces so that it's easy to handle and not overwhelming, because it can be overwhelming. We start with education. After education, there's counseling and design. Let's talk about your families, talk about what the right answers are for your family, and make sure that the plan that you get is designed specifically for your family. What are the answers to the questions of who's the right people, what's the right authority, when is the right time, and what are the right instructions for them to act on your behalf. Finally, then, our signing ceremony, and maybe most important in our process, is the funding process. What's funding? That's making sure that the ownership and beneficiary designations, because we know that beneficiary designations and ownership govern a lot of the accounts that we own. Make sure that those are consistent with what your plan is, whether that's a will plan or a trust plan. The biggest mistake in estate planning is not choosing a will, choosing a trust. It's not the decisions you make. It's not making those decisions. It's not going through the process. It's not getting it done. I don't need to tell you the story about my clients that came in and started the process and said, you know what, we need to put off the design. We've got the initial part done. We know what we're going to do, but we need to put off the design because I'm having heart surgery next month and I want to finish this up after open heart surgery. I don't need to tell you that story. Story I tell all the time is the client who asked me in probate, why didn't Dad make this easier? Let us help you make sure that your family never asks that question to an attorney as they go through the process of cleaning up when something happens. I'll tell you the answer to that question. Why didn't her dad make that easier? Because he didn't foresee, he didn't accept that things could have happened that he wasn't planning for. Let us help coach you through the process of making sure that you've got all your bases covered. Those bad things are less likely to happen than things going well, but they happen in enough circumstances, and nobody is guaranteed tomorrow or what it looks like. The Estate Planning Law Group of Georgia can make sure that your family never asks somebody else, why didn't Mom, why didn't Dad make this easier?